Good day, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. A community in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria says no government official has recently come visiting in order to resume talks to end pipeline attacks. This comes days after Minister of Youth and Sports Solomon Dalong said he visited and held talks with members of Niger Delta Avengers, which is a militant group. He claimed to have taken a 2-hour journey on the sea to Okporoza in Baramatu Kingdom, Warri, Southwest Local Government Area, Delta State, where he met with the leadership of the militant group. However, both the Avengers group and the community he reportedly traveled through have denied that visit. The Avengers say the minister may have met with some fraudsters instead. For the past few weeks, talks of dialogue between the Nigerian government and militants in the Niger Delta region have taken center stage. Attacks on pipelines in the region pushed crude oil production in Nigeria to 30-year lows in recent weeks. The Niger Labour Congress has called for the abolition of security votes for the president and governors in Nigeria. President of NLC Ayuba Waba said security votes had become an avenue for siphoning public funds. He said the issue of security vote is another form of corruption, giving an instance of where a particular state took home $1 billion in 1 month as security vote. Also, Waba called for the removal of the immunity clause from the Constitution to enable the president, his deputy, and governors, as well as their deputies, be prosecuted for criminal offences. The NLC said that immunity was hindering the fight against corruption. The Nigerian House of Reps have met with security chiefs over the state of insecurity in the country. The country, which is still battling Islamic sect Boko Haram, has been plagued by several security incidents such as recent kidnapping sprees by suspected militants, as well as attacks on oil installations in the Niger Delta region, and also a rise in herdsmen and farmers clash. To address this, the House of Reps met with the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, and also the Acting Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, and the head of the Department of Security Services. At the meeting, the security heads briefed the committee on their operational strategies to contain the situation. The Nigerian government has announced plans to audit the Niger Maritime Administration and Safety Agency (NIMASA), as well as the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA). Nigeria's Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, revealed this during a visit from NIMASA officials led by the agency's Director General, Dakuku Peterside. Amechi said that the federal government intends to bring about effective performance in both organizations. He said that the audit of the report would determine the next step to be taken by the Nigerian government. Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, has taken responsibility for the role it says it has played in encouraging a toxic atmosphere on social media. According to the party, the tone of conversation amongst Nigerians on social media had taken a disturbing dimension. The party said henceforth it would only focus on key issues in the country and provide solutions to them. The PDP is Nigeria's biggest opposition party and was defeated only in May 2015 after holding power for 16 years. The party has, however, been enmeshed in a series of leadership crises for several months now. Still on the PDP, the leadership crisis rocking the opposition party is not just at the national level. In Lagos State, the power tussle in the party continues to get worse day by day. Two leaders of the party in the state, Deputy Chairman Sakiru Apena and the former senatorial candidate Segun Adewale, are battling for the post of Lagos PDP chairman. At different venues on Tuesday, both men held press conferences to discuss the state of the party. The two factional leaders also confirmed the party is ready to participate in the next local government elections in all the 57 local council areas in Lagos.
About being duly elected, let him show you proof of being duly elected. I'm sure some of you were here the day we held our congresses, particularly the state congress. INEC was here from Abuja and Lagos State. The SSS were here, the police were here. We did not conduct our Congress in a closet. It was done in the open, and this is where we did it. So there's no point joining issue with people like him. Well, for your information, when Segun Adewale sometimes said he was once a motor parked out before he went to school, and if you look at his face, he has all these marks all over his body. Probably he mistook a political party to a garage where cutlasses and guns were used to take over. He needs to go back to school to go and read political science and a little bit of constitutional law so that he can be seriously acquainted with a decent body like a political party whose business is welfare of the people.
Bode George decided to, have his own Congress separately from the main, from the main Congress, meaning that he decided unilaterally want to have a Congress on his own, without, having it, with everybody, all the stakeholders in Lagos State. That's what happened. So it's not as if maybe we didn't do, or I didn't buy form, or we just, some people just decide to just make me, the chairman. No. So what happened is that on that same day, he just called his supporters to have, a Congress in the secretariat without anybody from Abuja, like, like an official from Sheriff. Like we did our own Congress, and I emerged as the chairman. I have a letter confirming my position. It's not as if maybe somebody is desperate that it's a do or die affair. I must become the chairman of PDP Lagos. No, at all. So up to today, what we now did is just that. So far, they will not have a Congress with everybody, all the stakeholders in Lagos State. They decide to have their Congress alone in a 3-bedroom apartment. And that's what Bode George normally do every 4 years.
Oluremi Tinubu, the senator representing Lagos Central, has petitioned the leadership of the All Progressives Congress and the Senate over her clash with Dino Melaye, who represents Kogi West. The petition followed an earlier letter to the Acting Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, in which she asked for adequate security for fear Melaye might kill her. The two senators, who are members of the ruling All Progressives Congress, clashed during a Senate closed-door session last Tuesday. In Tinubu's letters, she expressed worry that the Senate leadership had not taken action to address Melaye's threatening misconduct. She wrote, quote, "I am both a ranking senator and a woman, but Senator Melaye took neither into consideration as he issued threats of rape and assault, while boasting he would face no consequence if he fulfilled these criminal threats," end of quote. Meanwhile, the APC and the Senate are yet to respond. A group in Nigeria known as Legislative Advocacy Coalition on Violence Against Women has accused the Nigerian Senate of complicity for its silence on Senator Dino Melaye's conduct. The incident, which occurred last Tuesday during an executive session of the upper chamber, has drawn the fury of many Nigerians, including the group. Senator Melaye made what had been described as sexist remarks to Senator Tinubu. He had reportedly threatened to beat her up and impregnate her.
For the Senate to remain silent about Senator Melaye's conduct on the basis that it took place during a closed-door session would not only be ethically inadequate, but would also indicate complicity with the prevailing impunity against gender-based violence and discrimination. Violent behavior and sexually demeaning language should be condemned, whether they occur in closed-door meetings, other private spaces, or in the public arena. Senator Melaye's confrontation with Senator Oluremi Tinubu represents yet another occasion when the democratic values that ought to underpin women's legitimate right to hold public office are undermined. In the process, Senator Melaye's conduct jeopardizes the possibility that men and women can contribute to the development of Nigeria in a manner that truly respects freedom from violence and discrimination. In view of the serious implications of the reported threats and abusive behavior by Senator Dino Melaye towards Senator Oluremi Tinubu, LACVOW demands the following. 1. A retraction of the abusive statements by Senator Dino Melaye that were directed at Senator Oluremi Tinubu. 2. A public apology by Senator Dino Melaye to Senator Oluremi Tinubu. 3. a public apology by Senator Dino Melai to the women of Nigeria for threatening and violent conduct which amounts to an abuse of their collective human dignity and failure of public trust. 4, a strong statement from the Senate President acknowledging and condemning Senator Dino Melai's behavior and compelling him to retract his abusive statements and apologize for his obnoxious conduct against a colleague. 5, a strong statement from the Senate Ethics Committee condemning Senator Dino Melai's behavior and compelling him to retract his abusive statements and apologize for his obnoxious conduct against a colleague. 6, a strong statement from the National Secretariat of the All People's Congress, APC, condemning Senator Dino Melai's conduct, as well as compelling him to retract his abusive statements and apologize for his obnoxious conduct against a colleague. 7, an expedited hearing and passage of a strong gender and equal opportunities bill before the Senate, as an assurance that Nigerian women have their respect and freedom from discrimination protected everywhere.
Plenary at the Benue State House of Assembly on Tuesday ended in a brawl over an alleged 750 million naira car fraud. Tuesday's face-off was a fallout of an alleged probe by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission into the purchase of cars for the lawmakers. A member of the House, Honorable Kester Kenyenge, had raised a point of order before the consideration of votes and proceedings of the previous sitting. The Speaker of the House, Honorable Tekimbi Kiange, ruled Kiange out of order. The situation led to members of the People's Democratic Party in the Assembly calling for the removal of all principal officers in the House. The All Progressives Congress-led legislature strongly resisted the move at the floor of the House in Makurdi, Benue State capital. We'll take a short break. When we'll come back, we'll look at business and international stories. Don't go away.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. 2 of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We are only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Which came up with this one? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. The International Monetary Fund has slashed its growth forecast for the Nigerian economy in 2016. The global body on Tuesday said a combination of plunging oil prices and weakened investor confidence will push Nigeria into recession. The IMF said it expects Africa's largest economy to contract by 1.8% this year, after having forecast in April this year a 2.3% expansion. Oil prices edged lower on Wednesday ahead of weekly U.S. crude inventory data. Investors await a clearer signal on whether an oversupply was easing in the world's largest oil-consuming nation. Brent crude prices were down 5 cents at $46.61 per barrel, while U.S. crude was down 10 cents at $44.55 per barrel. Russia's energy minister added to the bearish drive as it dashed any hope that the world's biggest oil producers could coordinate on output to stem global oversupply. At least 17 soldiers have died in an attack on a military base in central Mali. Officials in Mali say the heavily armed men took control of the base, parts of which have been set on fire. The assailants also wounded at least 27 people. It's still not clear who the attackers are. Donald Trump has secured the Republican nomination for U.S. President on day 2 of the Republican National Convention. The House Speaker, Paul Ryan, urged delegates to unite behind Trump on a day after splits in the party were evident as the convention opened. The Trump campaign also faces accusation a speech by Trump's wife Melania on Monday was plagiarized. Tuesday's speakers focused almost exclusively on attacking Hillary Clinton, the likely Democratic nominee. Meanwhile, Trump is expected to accept the nomination on Thursday. Moving on to sports stories now, President Muhammad Buhari has ordered the immediate release of funds for the Rio Olympic Games without any further delay. He also said the funds should be put to good use considering the current economic challenges facing Nigeria. Buhari also warned that any official who has no business at the tournament should stay back and cheer the team, and if they insist on going, they should do so at their own expense. He was speaking at the national official handover of Team Nigeria to the Nigerian Olympic Committee and his inauguration as Grand Patron of the Nigerian Olympic Committee. Paul Le Guen has rejected NFF's offer to become Niger's new coach. French media reports say the former Lyon Rangers and Cameroon coach rejected the offer because the NFF failed to meet his terms and conditions. Earlier this month, the NFF revealed a 3-man shortlist of former Cameroon coach Paul Le Guen, former interim coach Salisu Yusuf, and former Ethiopian coach Tom Seinfeld for the post. The 3 men were reportedly interviewed on Monday with a member of the committee, Paul Bassi, revealing that the body chose Le Guen as a new manager, while Salisu has been offered the role of an assistant manager.
About a week ago, this committee met and shortlisted 3 coaches for the post of technical advisor of the Nigerian Football Federation. Today, we have taken a decision. We have recommended and strongly to the board that Paul Le Guen be appointed the technical advisor. That is what we have done. We've also made some other appointments, so other recommendations, let me put it that way. Salisu Yusuf will assist him. Amama will assist him of Rangers. And Aloya Go as a good pass trainer. We have also recommended that Bitrus Bewarang be appointed National Technical Director, and that Nduko Gabade should return to 2017 as assistant coach to Manu. Those are decisions we have taken. Bearing agreement on contract terms and the emoluments and allowances and everything, Paul Le Guen becomes the technical advisor of the Nigerian Football Federation.
Meanwhile, the NFF has backtracked and says it never appointed Le Guen as a new coach of Nigeria's Super Eagles. The NFF says it only recommended the Frenchman to the NFF board. The football body also said the former Lyon manager objected to the terms offered in his contract. Former Chelsea striker Dembaba has said he has no intention of quitting football after a horrific leg injury while playing in the Chinese Super League. The Shanghai attacker was unfortunate to be the victim of a gruesome knockout in a game at the weekend in what looked like a career-threatening blow. Ba, who joined Shenhua from Turkish side Besiktas for about £12 million last July, is the top goal scorer in the Chinese Super League with 14 goals in 18 games. Shanghai Shenhua is currently 5th in Chinese championship standings. That's all we have on News Now. We thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.